Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to share with you my actual methodology, and I'm going to be explaining throughout what I'm doing, and you're going to see my notes, and you're going to see a lot of different attacks that I believe is going to be incredibly useful to you, especially if you're on your way to do the OSCP. So sit back, relax. I hope you learned something useful, and please enjoy the video. Or matches with that, right? So this is perfect. So we have 2 credentials, 2 users. All right. So what we do now is that we just want to double check that this one isn't finding anything more, right? In case there's any other user with this password as well, but I heavily doubt it. So what we want to do now, see, this is also the port we have open. So we have this one open, which is Veneram. But yeah, perfect. It's a very good idea as well to check for the new unweb scan, especially when you get stuck, okay? Because once again, this can happen. But yeah, perfect. So what we want to do now is that we want to start with the credentials of this. And then we simply just want to check it across all of the different protocols that potentially can give us a shell, okay? So we want to start there. So what we do is that we do netexec. We specify the username and the password. We remove this. We can see that this is valid, but it doesn't give us a shell, right? It doesn't say pond over SMB. This tool is going to say pond if it's a local admin or the main admin, and it allows us to get a shell essentially over the SMB protocol. Now I'm going to change protocol. Most likely it's not going to say pond. Veneram, it's possible, but I somewhat doubt it. Okay, it doesn't. What about RDP? Because that is also open to us. Okay, so we have to do this again. A bit annoying. Let's try to just do this. Then let's show that again. Okay, perfect. So it does not say pond either. So if this happens to you, just run this and it seems to work. So yeah, it says it does not say pond. So yeah. Another thing we can check is we want to check with shares. Now, if you're more new, I highly recommend just noting what you're doing, just so it's easier to keep overviewing, right? And we can see that this allows us to see more things, okay? It allows us to see more access, which is noteworthy. All right, so let's see. I can say ybob317 can't access anything that gives immediate shell, like SMB, potentially RPC, but less likely. Veneram can definitely give shell, RDP, right? C can see these shares, however. Check later. I don't feel like checking it right now, so I'm just adding that, right? And time to check with this user as well. Now, one thing that I would like to check is just to see if we have some form of certificate attack available to us. I doubt it, but it's a good idea to check. So, and once again, if this is completely overwhelming, do not worry at all. It will make so much more sense over time. So we want to find the user, this, and then it's going to be that domain. The password is going to be this as well. And let's search for vulnerable and standard out. I think I forgot to specify the target the targets, basically the domain controller. Okay, I have something wrong here, but that's fine. That's why we have notes, just make it more convenient for us, right? So it's gonna be, okay, 1 dash TCP. Okay, so I basically just added 2 dashes to the things I shouldn't have. like so. Okay, so it does not seem that we have any form of, yeah. So certificate attack seems like it's not going to be relevant. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. So we can note that as well. Certify attacks, not gonna be relevant, right? We can of course check this on each new user, but I'm pretty sure that it's not gonna be the case. But if we get stuck, we can always check that. So we can just check this as well. Check certificate-based attacks with Certify. We've already done that. It makes a lot of sense to run Bloodhound now and check the attack paths. But I want to get done with this. You see how there's a lot of checks? And it's okay that it's going slow and it's okay that it's going fast, right? But if it's going slow, it's not an issue long, as it's not an issue at all. As long as you're being consistent and thorough and you can apply a methodology onto machines, okay? So in this scenario, once again, that initial access vector took us a bit of time because we checked all of the normal and wrong things, I suppose, in this scenario. And the more hideous thing was actually the route in this scenario, but that's okay, right? As long as you eventually get with... And it's very important that each time you do a machine and you come across something new and strange, just to kind of like make a mental note or make a note of it so that you can not forget about it in the future, so that you can check for it in the future, right? That's very important because we want to keep learning and expanding our mindset. All right. So yeah, it was basically just this user that had this password, right? I think we already checked the previous password. So yeah, basically we only have 2 users of access and that's perfectly fine. So now let's check the other user. So we checked this user. Now we want to check this user. File service. If I can actually copy. File service. No space there, not shares there. File underscore service, that's correct. Okay, so once again, no shell. Let's try over VMI. I don't think it's going to say anything special. Yep. Let's try RDP. And I suspect that VNRM is most likely going to give a shell. But I hope so at least, because it's a service account. But yeah, let's see. And it didn't. That is unfortunate. All right. But then that's fine. We can at least check if this one has any interesting permissions with shares. So it does, however, have this backup, huh? Which is definitely interesting. Can't see the same as, I think. So it can't see users, okay. Can see the same as YBOB, except users. However, it can see backup. I'll just add it like this. Looks a bit cool now. All right. So once again, a lot of things to check. So I guess we can check with this. This was a bit more convenient earlier. I copied the wrong thing. I think it was file service. Yes, it was. And then it was password 123. Let's try that. Okay, so if we want to use the share, we can also type shares like so. And netexec gives us a nice overview over the permissions. So we want to use backup. So use backup. So we can list the files here. Okay, so let's get that. Can we also just get it like so? Seems like it. Yeah. And I can also do mget like so. Yes, I can. Okay. So we have... Okay. So this is not common necessarily, but someone has decided to give us some beautiful hashes. And if you find this video useful, then you're absolutely gonna love this. We have a massive, free-to-try, 25-hour plus OSCP course that you can see that people are just absolutely loving. That inside gives you all of the resources that you need to crush the OSCP. We have a massive roadmap that literally covers everything. We cover initial access, privilege escalation, Windows and Linux. We cover Active Directory. We cover post-exploitation. We cover lateral movement. We cover pivoting, tunneling. We cover the exam. We cover the reporting. We cover all of the attacks that you need and all of the techniques that you need for OSCP. We also cover all the rooms that you need to do, and all of the rooms is linked inside. We cover Active Directory chains as well, and we literally cover everything. And you will instantly get all of these resources once you join. So click the link down below, try it completely for free. I'll see you inside.